Welcome to your deep dive. We've looked through everything you shared, the articles, the research, and pulled out the insights that we think give you a real edge. Now, you know those days, right? You wake up, feel absolutely unstoppable, like you can take on the world.
Oh, definitely.
And then there are those other days where just getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain. It happens to all of us, but, it's often not just about sleep or coffee. So today, we're really digging into the hidden thieves and secret builders of your energy. We're going beyond the surface stuff, looking at what really drains you, often silently, and what genuinely builds you back up. Our mission here is to uncover some maybe surprising truths from the research you sent over and, crucially, give you practical ways to, take back control of your own energy.
Right. Yeah, and what's really striking is how consistently energy is framed as more than just physical. It's like this mix of emotional, mental, and you could even say spiritual reserves. One analogy that really stood out was comparing energy to money. You can spend it recklessly or you can invest it wisely. And the shocking part maybe is how often we just give it away without even realizing it, unknowingly.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with the energy thieves, the silent assassins, as some called them. These are the sneaky ones, right? They creep in, quietly steal your vitality, and suddenly you're just drained or anxious or totally unmotivated, wondering where the day went.
Exactly. It's not usually one big thing. It's the cumulative effect. They just chip away, and you might not notice until you're running on empty.
Okay, first up, the trap of people-pleasing, saying yes when you really, really mean no. That's called out as one of the fastest ways to burn out. An invisible energy vampire. It's more than just feeling awkward, though, isn't it?
Oh, much deeper. When you're constantly people-pleasing, you're essentially putting other people's feelings or perceptions ahead of your own needs, your boundaries, even your values sometimes. And what's really telling is the link found in studies, people-pleasers tend to have higher rates of depression, chronic fatigue, even physical illness. It creates this constant internal stress, diverting energy away from you.
That totally makes sense. And speaking of things diverting energy, let's talk digital overload. Too much screen time. Our phones, they're brilliant at grabbing our attention, aren't they?
Probably designed for it.
Every ping, every scroll, it's not just a distraction, it's messing with our brain chemistry, right? Tapping into dopamine.
Precisely. It's like a slot machine, as One Piece put it. You're the gambler, but you're betting your focus, your sleep, your energy. Each notification is a little dopamine hit, yeah. But it keeps your brain in this constant state of low-level alert. It actually, paradoxically, drains the part of your brain you need for real focus and deep work. You trade the quick fix for long-term depletion.
Wow. Okay. Then there's the invisible weight of stress and fear. We all know stress feels heavy, but the idea that it literally consumes your energy at a cellular level, that's intense. How does that work?
Right. It's not just a feeling. When you're dealing with chronic fear or worry or doubt, your body kicks into fight or flight, which is great for, escaping a tiger, but not so great when it's switched on all the time because of work deadlines or relationship worries. Your body floods with adrenaline and cortisol. It diverts energy, glucose, oxygen away from things like digestion and repair and sends it to your muscles, prepping for action that never comes. So you end up feeling exhausted, even if you haven't really done anything physical.
Which leads perfectly into the deadly spiral of overthinking, that feeling of running a mental marathon without moving an inch. We've all been there.
Mm-hmm. And it's a massive drain. The brain uses something like, 20% of your body's energy? So when you're stuck in those what-if loops, replaying conversations, worrying about the future, you're basically burning fuel on imaginary problems. It can even make it harder to make other decisions because your mental bandwidth is just gone.
Okay, here's one that surprised me a bit. Clutter and chaos. A messy desk or room, it actually increases stress hormones. It's not just in my head.
Nope, it's real. Neuroscientists have shown that a disorganized space creates constant visual noise. Your brain has to work harder just to filter it all out. This sensory overload fatigues you, makes it harder to focus, kills motivation. It adds to your cognitive load, basically. Takes energy just to be in the room.
Wild. Okay, and a really common one, the dehydration epidemic. Apparently, most of us are walking around dehydrated and don't even know it.
It's so fundamental, but easily missed. Even being just slightly dehydrated, like 1 or 2% fluid loss, can hit you hard. Fatigue, mood swings, headaches, trouble concentrating. It all links back. The takeaway is often you don't need more coffee, you need more water. Every single cell needs it for energy production.
Right. And then there's the trap of junk food masquerading as comfort. We reach for the chips, the sugary drink, Feels good for a second, right?
Yeah.
But then comes the crash, the devastating crash.
Exactly. And it's worse than just the crash.
Yeah.
That kind of food actually steals your long-term energy. It messes with your gut health, makes your brain feel sluggish, causes inflammation. It's this crazy irony. We reach for it when we're tired, thinking it'll help, but it's actively making the problem worse in the long run. Creates this up and down energy roller coaster.
Then there's this cultural thing, the lie of overworking, glorifying the grind, pushing constantly. But does it actually make you more productive?
Well, the research suggests not really. It just makes you more depleted. Being exhausted actually tanks your creativity, your memory, your ability to solve problems effectively. Some even suggest workaholism is less about ambition and maybe more like an addiction to those stress hormones, keeping that fight or flight going. It leads to burnout, not sustainable success.
And a big one for modern life, sitting, the modern poison. Calling it the new smoking. That's quite a statement.
It is, but there's science behind it. Sitting for hours on end really messes with your circulation, your metabolism, even your mood. Blood flow slows down. Less oxygen gets to your brain. And here's the kicker. Apparently, even if you exercise daily, you can't completely undo the damage of sitting nonstop for the rest of the day. It highlights how important it is to just move regularly, little breaks throughout the day.
Okay, and finally, a few more subtle ones related to our inner state, like living in the past, carrying that heavy baggage of regrets or old hurts. Just drains the present, right?
Totally. Consumes mental and energy you could be using now.
And autopilot living, just going through the motions mindlessly.
Yeah, like you're leaking energy because you're not really present or engaged. Things don't feel fulfilling.
And setting unrealistic goals that become like prisons, trapping you in this cycle of striving and feeling like you're failing.
Right. All of those, they tie back to being disconnected, either from the present, from yourself, or from reality maybe. Dwelling on the past, being checked out, setting yourself up for failure. They all trigger stress and drain your emotional resilience. They're unconscious choices, often, but they deplete you just the same.
Oh, okay, wow. It's like quite the list of thieves. Definitely gives you pause for thought. But the good news is there's another side to this coin. If those are the assassins, then there are also the energy givers, the healers, and the really cool part, they're often simple, free, and like right there for the taking, available now.
That's the empowering part. These aren't complicated fixes. They're foundational things that if you do them consistently can seriously boost your energy. It's about making intentional deposits into your energy bank.
Let's start with one I love, the healing force of sunlight, calling it pure medicine, just 10-20 minutes a day, boosting vitamin D, immunity, mood, hormones. What's the deal there?
It's huge. Sunlight helps set your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm, which controls sleep and hormones. It boosts serotonin, that's your mood lifter. And yeah, vitamin D production is critical for immunity. And the flip side is serious. Lack of sunlight is clearly linked to depression, fatigue, even potentially worse health outcomes long term. It hits fundamental biology.
Makes sense. Okay, then nourishing food for the soul, food as information for your cells. What kind of info builds energy?
It's about giving your body the right building blocks. We're talking whole foods, leafy greens, fruits, nuts, seeds, lean protein, stuff like that. They provide steady, sustained energy, unlike the spike and crash from junk food. They literally help rebuild your energy reserves at a cellular level. Sustained vitality.
Next up, movement and exercise. Not just burning calories, you said, but actually creating energy.
Well, it gets your blood flowing better, delivers more oxygen everywhere, including your brain. It helps your mitochondria, the power plants in your cells, work more efficiently. Plus, it releases endorphins, cuts stress hormones, and there's that stat. Regular exercisers have a much lower risk, like up to 40% lower, of chronic fatigue and depression. It's a powerful energizer and mood booster.
Let's circle back to water, the forgotten fuel. We know dehydration is bad, so hydration must be good. What does it do for energy specifically?
Every single process in your body pretty much relies on water. Nutrient transport, waste removal, temperature regulation, and crucially, energy production itself at the cellular level. Being well hydrated means better memory, sharper focus, improved mood, more endurance. It really is like a natural energy drink, fundamental to everything.
Along those lines, the fresh air effect.
Yeah.
Just getting outside, breathing clean air, it feels instantly revitalizing, doesn't it? And that whole nature therapy thing, walking in a park or forest.
Oh yeah, more oxygen, obviously. But also, being in nature exposes you to things like phytoncides from plants, which studies suggest can boost immunity and lower stress hormones. It's a real reset button. And then there's music, the invisible charger. How music can just bypass your logical brain and hit your emotions and energy directly. It can literally change your brain waves, apparently, making it one of the fastest ways to shift your state.
Wow. Okay. And related to shifting your state, prayer and meditation, how they can reset your nervous system, quiet the overthinking, lower stress.
Absolutely. Regular practice actually seems to strengthen the parts of the brain linked to calm and focus and weaken the stress response pathways. It's like building resilience over time. And even just simple deep breathing, slow mindful breaths can make a huge difference instantly. It stimulates the vagus nerve, shifts you out of stress mode, gets more oxygen in. Game changer.
Then there's the human element. Love, intimacy, and connection. We're wired for it, right? And it builds energy.
Definitely. Positive social interaction, touch, affection, meaningful conversation releases oxytocin. That's the bonding hormone. It lowers stress, builds resilience, and the contrast is stark. Loneliness is incredibly draining physically and mentally. It keeps stress hormones high, fuels inflammation. The comparison to smoking 15 cigarettes a day really highlights how vital connection is for our overall energy and health.
So important. And self-care and positive affirmations, the reminder that caring for yourself isn't selfish, it's survival.
Totally. Taking time for things that nurture you, combined with positive self-talk. It builds confidence, reinforces your worth, gives you emotional strength. The words you tell yourself really do shape your inner reality and thus your energy.
And of course, the big one, sleep, the ultimate recharge. You just can't cheat sleep.
No, absolutely not. Sleep is when all the essential repair happens. Your body fixes tissues, your brain clears out toxins, your energy stores get replenished. Chronic sleep deprivation doesn't just make you tired. It seriously impacts your long-term health, increases risks for major diseases. It shortens your lifespan. It's non-negotiable for energy.
And finally, rounding out the givers, mindfulness and creativity. Mindfulness bringing you back to the present, the only place real energy exists.
Exactly. It stops that energy drain from worrying about the past or future. And creativity, painting, writing, music, whatever lets your spirit express itself generates joy and vitality. It often leads to that flow state, which is deeply energizing.
Okay, so we've got the thieves, we've got the builders, but here's where it gets really interesting pulling it all together. The most kind of shocking realization maybe is this. Your energy isn't just stolen by chance. It's often given away by choice.
That's the crux of it, isn't it? Every time you choose to scroll endlessly instead of resting, or say yes when you mean no, or grab the junk food instead of something nourishing, you are consciously or unconsciously making a choice to deplete yourself.
Right. And this is the empowering part. The opposite is just as true. Every time you choose to drink that glass of water, or get up and move, or connect with someone, or just take a few deep breaths, you're actively choosing to fuel yourself. Making an investment.
Exactly. It boils down to this. Energy isn't luck. It's daily decisions.
So how do we make this practical? How do we apply all this? The research suggests creating almost like a daily ritual to consciously reclaim and build your energy.
It's about weaving these builders into your day consistently, like starting the morning with sunlight and water kickstarts your system, hydrates you.
Maybe adding just 10 minutes of movement to wake up your body, get oxygen flowing.
Right. And being intentional about digital detox times, even short breaks to protect your focus from constant interruption.
Plus, making space for one act of self-care could be anything small to build that inner strength, and maybe a quick gratitude or mindfulness practice to anchor you in the present.
And underpinning it all, really prioritizing sleep, guarding it, seeing it as the essential investment it is, making these small, consistent choices. That's how you shift from spending energy recklessly to investing it wisely. It really can transform how you feel day to day.
Absolutely. Because life's just too short to live constantly feeling drained, right?
Yeah.
Your energy truly is your most valuable currency. And every choice, big or small, is either spending it down or building it up, investing in a fuller, more vibrant life.
And that final thought really lands it. The shocking part. No one else is coming to rescue your energy. You have to do it yourself. Stop feeding the takers. Start nourishing the givers. When you make that shift, you don't just get more energy, you get more life.
So as you listen to this, what does this all mean for you? Where are your energy choices taking you?